Morning, lady. What are you doing up this early?
Oh, I didn't sleep so good last night.
Sorry about that. Hey, you remember those flowers that you got?
Yeah.
Did you ever find out who they were from?
No, I didn't. Why?
Nothing, just curious.
It's just a mystery. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. Babs, is there something you're not telling us?
What do you mean?
I mean, about all of this going straight business.
Hey, I am. I have gone straight. Can't you tell?
Oh, yeah, I can tell, all right. But I still get the feeling that there's more to this than you're letting on.
Like what, for instance?
I don't know. I was hoping you would tell me.
Come in.
Hi. You busy?
I'm swamped, but come on in. I got lots of things to tell you.
Hey, you must have heard some good news from Lori. It's written all over you.
I did. Peter and I went to Fairmont last weekend. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Alex, Mercy Hospital is the best mental care facility I've ever seen.
Lori must be better. Not that I doubt your objectivity, though.
No, honestly, the doctors are very enthusiastic, but not half as enthusiastic as I am, of course, because Lori is functioning beautifully. But best of all, she's communicating at last.
Oh, that's wonderful. Look, did they give you any suggestion of when she might be able to come home?
Few more weeks, at the most, but that's just a guesstimate.
And what a homecoming that's going to be.
I just hope that I don't overdo it, Alex.
Well, I don't think you can overdo it, short of a ticker-tape parade.
I just want Lori to know how much we all love her.
Well, can there be any doubt?
After all she's been through, I'm not quite sure how she's going to react to us.
No, nonsense. Look, after she's home, it'll only be a short time before the Davidsons are a close-knit, loving family once again. What about Ben? Does he feel like he can afford to come back here for that surgery now?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, he got in touch with Dr. Egan. It's scheduled in a few days.
Well, it's none too soon. I just hope it's not going to be an exercise in futility at this point.
No,
Yeah,
Alex.
I know. I'm just afraid he might have waited too long. He should have known better.
Well, we've all talked to him, but Lori is his main priority. His health and welfare, I'm afraid, are secondary. And believe me, I have tried to talk him out of it.
When do you think he might consider coming back to work?
Oh, he already has. Yep, he's going to clear up some loose ends that he left while he's having his surgery, then he's going to make a fresh start again.
Well, now, that tells me more about Lori's recovery than anything else.
Oh, excuse me, Alex. Terry Davidson. Yes, hello, Russ. Well, as a matter of fact, I am rather busy right now. Maybe later in the morning. About 10:30? Let's see. Okay, that's fine. All right. What in the world can he want now?
I'm just afraid that if this Ronnie Washington and his guys really want to punish you, then Mom and someone else in the family could get caught in the crossfire.
Hey, that's not going to happen, Gene, honest. If I thought that was going to happen, I'd move away. I even suggested it, but your mother wouldn't hear of it.
But where would you move anyhow? Where would you go if you were going to move?
Well, I'm still thinking about it, to tell you the truth. I don't know. If I moved away from this house, I'd just move away from town altogether. I didn't want to run, but maybe I was wrong. I have talked to Harold about it.
What does he think?
He thinks I should stay put. See this wig?
It's hard to ignore.
Yeah, well, it was his idea. This and this whole disguise and a change in my appearance and all.
Something like a disguise or something, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, my disguise.
Huh. You know something? I figured that this whole thing wasn't just for kicks.
Are you kidding? It's hotter than you-know-what under here. Well, what do you think, Gene? You think I should just forget it or what?
No, I don't think you should forget it, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I would like a little more background information as to how you got involved with this Ronnie character in the first place.
Well, he's really smooth. I mean, that guy could charm the skin right off a snake. And so could Lance if he wanted to. And girls just take to him. And I mean, once they figure out what's happened, it's too late. They're hooked.
Drugs?
For some. For others, like me, some money. And the hatred of men. And yourself.
What about Lance and Ronnie, Babs?
Oh, you hate them too. And you love them. Oh, I don't know. It's really sick. I mean, it's worse than dope. You love being hated, and you hate the people who try to love you, and Ronnie really knows how to use his girls, too. I mean, he knows just what buttons to push to make them work. He even pits one against another just for the fun of it. I've seen him do it sometimes even to the death.
Sounds like a really nice chap.
Yeah.
You know, now that you've got this improved hindsight on everything, let me just answer one little question here. What do you suppose makes Ronnie Washington tick?
He likes the bread, that's for sure. I mean, silk shirts, silk sheets. You could walk into his place and slip and break your neck.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think I wanted that too, but he's just so mean and rotten. I could never go back to that. I wouldn't.
Look, I would never ask you to go back to that, but I do want you to be straight with me about one thing. I want you to answer one question. My mom's safety could be at stake here, couldn't it? Babs, isn't it true that my mom could really be in danger?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Come in.
Hi, Terry.
Oh, you are a lovely sight.
Are you sure I didn't catch you at a bad time?
No. I'm glad you're here. There's things I want to talk to you about. Sit down.
Oh, good, thank you. I have been thinking about you so much, and about Lori, too.
Oh, I'm so delighted you're here. She's getting better and better, praise God.
Oh, good, I'm really glad.
Well, Peter and I went up to see her and Ben last weekend at Fairmont. Now, she's not a chatterbox, mind you, but she is talking, and she seems to have her senses about her.
Well, did she remember anything about who tried to rape her?
No, she didn't. Or should I say she won't remember. You see, that's one part of her life that Lori's trying to protect, and I must admit she's succeeding at it.
Well, maybe in time.
Yeah, I think so. But she's certainly remembering other things. She wants me to water all the houseplants, especially the little one in the bathroom.
Oh, really? Sounds like Lori. That is wonderful. I guess the Lord really does answer prayer, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Maybe not according to our timetables all the time, but he does hear and answer.
I do believe that. But I am a little disappointed that Mother didn't decide to stay here in Kingsley.
Is that definite?
Yes, she's already gone back to Canada. But you know what? I'm thinking about maybe going on up there to visit her, just for a while at least.
Oh, Miriam, I think that's a great idea. Can you get leave
Yeah.
from your job?
Well, I don't think there'd be too much trouble. It's just a part-time job.
You and Helen are really getting close, aren't you?
Yes, finally. It's a little strange. Wonderful, but strange. You know, we haven't had very much time together.
Miriam, just because your mother's moved away doesn't mean it's the end of the world. You know, sometimes I think that we express ourselves and our love even more beautifully in letters. I treasure the letters Scott wrote me. To be able to express your thoughts is really something very special.
Terry, could I ask you a favor?
Sure.
It's about Daddy. You know, since he's had the heart attack, I really think that he's afraid of dying. And I've tried to talk to him. I've tried to talk to him about forgiveness and about life after death, but it just seems so hard. I feel very awkward with him being my father. It just doesn't come out right.
Oh, you just think it doesn't.
Well, as a friend, would you mind talking to him about Jesus for me?
Oh, Miriam, I'd be very honored to, but I really don't think he'd want to listen to me.
Harold, have you been messing around with my files?
Barbara, darling, you know those files used to be mine, and now I can't recognize anything in there.
Well, neither can I. I mean, if you need something, ask me. Don't go digging around in there for 'em. That's what I'm here for. Just say, Babs, give me the whatever, okay?
Okay. Babs, would you please give me the Rogers versus Emery file?
Sure. Whose side are you on?
Emery.
Okay.
Does that make some kind of difference?
Yeah. Emery versus Rogers. Your people come first in my book.
Thank you.
Harold,
Yeah.
if I had to quit suddenly, would it really leave you in a big pinch?
Yeah, you can't quit.
Well, I don't really want to, but, you never know.
What made you come up with an idea like that in the first place?
You got a minute?
Yeah. Hey, what's happening? Is something wrong?
Nothing new is wrong. It's just this Ronnie business is really getting to me, that's all. I mean, it's like one of those weird movies, where the suspense makes you crazy. I mean, it's bad enough for me, but I'm starting to worry about the Redlands now. So's Jean.
Now, wait a minute. Let's just back up here for a second. I thought you told me that nothing had happened.
Well, no.
And that those scare tactics, that stuff that he was pulling earlier, that hadn't happened again? That's more or less a thing of the past?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, there you go.
But Jean's pretty sharp, and he thinks there might be something to this split with Ronnie and I, more than I let on.
Is there?
Well, a little.
Babs, come on now. Come on, look, if there's something I need to know, is there something that you haven't told me about this?
Well, yeah, Harold, there is.
I want to go home. Soon. And I want you there with me. I want my only child there with me.
Daddy, look, don't worry. There's really no need to. The Lord can work these things out. Just ask him.
Words, Mim. Just words. Pour me a drink, will you?
Sure. This will be good for you.
You're good for me. You're so pretty.
Daddy. Here. How's that?
Be better if it had some scotch in it.
No, you don't.
Don't nothing. I can't. Don't go away, Mim. Please.
Daddy, let's talk about that later, okay? I'm wondering if maybe you'd be willing to see Terry Davidson.
Why? I'm not interested in seeing that woman.
Well, I was talking with Terry earlier. We had a really good time, and there's some things she'd like to talk to you about. She was such a great help to me, Daddy.
That's debatable.
No, she was. She really was.
So?
So, well, I know when I was in this hospital, I certainly had a lot of fears. And just like you, I had a lot of time to question my life and where I was going. And that's when Lori and Terry, they were such a great comfort to me. They seemed to have answers. They did have answers about life and...
And death? Don't be afraid to say it. I've been thinking about it a lot since my heart attack. I know that I can't escape it.
Well, I think Terry could have some answers for you, too.
Preaching to me?
Oh, Daddy. No preaching. I promise.
You act like everything has to come to a screeching halt just because Lester takes a little fishing trip.
I don't understand your rush. It's just like you're trying to exploit his absence.
I don't need to. I'm the only one who makes any significant changes around here.
Well, I will thank you not to make any more significant changes in our nursing staff.
It's not your staff, Mrs. Davidson. We're a team, remember? You see, I think in terms of this hospital as a whole, whereas you see it as your own private little domain.
Now that was uncalled for,
That's
Russ.
it, isn't it? I fire a couple of nurses for the good of this hospital, and you run straight to personnel and yell, "Not mine! You can't fire mine!"
This conversation is going to do nothing but upset me, Russ. I'll talk to Lester when he gets back.
What's Lester got to do with it?
He's the hospital
No,
administrator.
I'm the hospital administrator for as long as he's gone. I'm the administrator.
Russ, I don't see it that way.
Well, you had better, because he does, and I guarantee he'll back me up on anything I do.
Still, I prefer to talk to him.
This is ridiculous. I am trying to run a hospital, and every time I turn around, you argue every one of my policies.
I have to argue about these policies, especially in this case.
Well, at any rate, as of this afternoon, those two nurses are history, period.
I can't let you do that, Russ.
Tell me where it is in your job description that says you can let me do anything.
As director of nursing,
As
it's my
director of nursing, you answer to me.
See, what I've got is kind of an insurance policy on Ronnie. I took it before I left, you know, for leverage.
Ronnie found out about it?
Well, I don't think so, but if I get it to the right sources, it could put Ronnie and Lance 6 feet under.
Murdered?
Hey, it's them or me, remember? I gotta have some kind of insurance or something. He doesn't just let his girls walk away.
Could this insurance policy you got, could that send him up?
Worse. You see, Ronnie works for this guy called the Prince.
Who's that?
Hey, if I knew that, all this would be a bonus.
You mean to tell me that you don't know who he works for?
Nobody does. Nobody that I know of, anyway, not any of the girls. But he's a heavy, I'll tell you that, and he wouldn't take to no skimming, not with his stuff.
What do you mean, skimming? What kind of skimming?
Off the top, what else? And Ronnie does a lot of skimming, and the Prince don't know about any of it.
Yeah? Like, what else?
Drugs. He skims off the top of that, just like he does the girls' income.
Babs, are you sure about this?
Sure, I'm sure. Look, I made photocopies of the books. There's 2 sets. One for Ronnie and Lance, and one for the Prince.
Wait a minute, how did you get your hands on the books?
Well, look, I've been thinking about leaving for a long time, see? And when I finally made up my mind, well, I was already pretty close to the boys. Anyway, I made sure to get a little bit closer, because I knew there was 2 sets of books. The only trouble was the second set was in Ronnie's penthouse in the safe. And I didn't know the combination. But once I found out the combination, I made the photocopies.
How in the world did you manage that?
Well, it wasn't but a dime a page.
Oh, no, Babs, I don't mean how you paid for it. I mean, how did you get away with it?
Oh, yeah, well, that was pretty scary. I mean, getting them in and out of the building and all, but I just picked an afternoon when I knew they'd both be real busy, and I took them down to the public library and made the photocopies and got back. Only took me a couple hours.
Ronnie never suspected anything?
Well, that's the bad part. I don't know. You see, I'm not exactly a poker face, you know? And I definitely look like the cat that swallowed the canary. And I think Ronnie got suspicious because shortly after that, he had me beat up. Yeah, my feelings exactly.
Hey, where are the copies now? Have you still got them?
Sure, they're in a locker at the bus station.
Oh, Babs, I could startle you for not telling me this sooner.
Well, I wanted to find out who the Prince was.
Don't you understand that what you've got is incriminating evidence that could get you killed? What in the world do you want to go and get into more trouble for?
Well, I wasn't trying to get into more trouble. I just figured the Prince would be more help to me than the law. I mean, you've seen how Brubaker and the cops take to me.
Yeah.
Only trouble is I kind of got stranded, you know? Here I was with this hot potato and nobody to throw it to.
Well, maybe you and I can kind of toss it back and forth for a while until I can figure out what your next move is.
Those are my feelings exactly, Harold.
You know, I have just about had it with your crusading, especially since you have singled me out as the villain around here.
Oh, please, Russ. Haven't we had enough arguing?
No, we'll go at it all day long if that's what it takes.
Look, when you first came to this hospital, everyone was willing to cooperate.
Everyone but you.
I recommended you for the job.
Yeah, well, I don't owe you anything for that either.
And I don't expect any favors. All I'm talking about is simple respect and wisdom.
Wisdom? Whose wisdom? Mine?
Yes, yours. Ever since you came here, you've had every opportunity to learn, to grow, to become a real administrator.
I put the financial status of this hospital back in the black. Lester couldn't do it, not in 10 years. I did it in 3 months.
The easy way.
What?
Yeah, by finding the easiest solutions to our problems. Now look at all the horrible confusion and frustration.
Well, speak for yourself, Mrs. Davidson. If you're frustrated or confused, it's because you can't stand to see the side of your position threatened. Lester may be sweet talk, but not me.
That's enough, Russ.
What's the matter? You don't like it? Well, then you can always quit.
I have no intention of quitting.
Yeah, I figured you and Lester probably hold out for a pension or a gold watch or something.
Keep on all the insults, Russ, because you're not going to get rid of me that easily.
Well, that'll make it a lot easier for you. You want simplistic? Fine. Here's something simple. You're fired.
I can't believe my ears.
Well, you don't have to. I'll put it in writing. You know, I should have done this a long time ago. I tried to be reasonable, Terry, let you get your act together, but you fought me every step of the way. And I'm sure you'll agree that you can't run a hospital in insubordination.
Russ, I don't want to be insubordinate, but you made this whole situation impossible.
Well, that's not your problem anymore, is it?
I can't believe you're serious.
You bet I am. And I'll tell you something else, too, Terry. Out of all the decisions I made, this one's the most satisfying.
Russ, you've got to listen to me.
Hey, sorry, no way to go. So get used to it. As of right now, you are no longer director of nursing, and you are no longer an employee of this hospital.